If you will stand as you are able for the reading of God's word, please. In arche e ha logos kai a logos e proston theon kai theos e a logos. Autos e in arche proston theon. Panta ti autu egeneto kai choris autu egeneto ude in a gegunan. In auto Zoe en kai en zoe en ta phos ton anthropon. Kai ta phos en te scotia fine kai e scotia auto u karalaban. Egeneto anthropos apostolomenos para deu onama auto ioannes. Autos elthen es martyrion ina martyrese peritu photos ina pates pistu usustasin ti autu uk ein ekenos ta phos al ina martusere peritu aut photos e ta phos ta alethithianan a photose panta anthropon erka alaminoso eis tan cosmon into cosmon te kai a cosmos ti autu egeneto kai a cosmos auton uk egno eis ta idea elethen kai ui idilioi auton u parelaban oiso de elaban auton eloken autois ecosian techna theo gerenestai tois pistu usin eis ta onoma autu oi uk ek amaton ude ek de menasastos sarkos ude ek de manadatas andros al ekotheo e genene thesan kai al logos sark egeneto kai eskasomasin in amen kai ethese meta tain doxon altu doxon os mononyminous para patros lethepesin karitos kai eletheisias ioannanas martuse perli autu kai kelcregan legon autus ein on epon o ausapan mu erkumenos uprostin mu kekogenin hoiti protas mu in agape. Thus ends the reading of the word.
May God add a blessing to the reading of the word.
That was fabulous.
You may be seated.
Would you please pray with me? God, you are our God, as our Muslim brothers and sisters say. Your name is whole, complete. You always have been and always will be, and somehow we have been part of your substance from the very beginning, and will be with you until the very ending. No matter how we call you, what is more important is that you have called us into being on this earth to come back to you with our love, our lives, and our experience. May the words of this sermon be your words to us today and not mine, and may they be written on our hearts that we may better serve you and your children. Amen.
Amen.
And I'm assuming that you'd kind of like to know what the scripture was so that you can understand it. So I'm going to have Ricky read it again.
Reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verses 1 through 14. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not understood it. There came a man who was sent from God. His name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all men might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to every man was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who received him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. Thus ends the reading of God's word.
May God add a blessing to the reading of the word.
Pick it up as we go along. Amen, hallelujah, First off, I want to thank Justin for finding the call to worship for us today that so aptly brings our attention to the celebration today of All Saints, All Souls Day, and also for the wonderful seasonal decorations of the pulpit and the altar. Secondly, thanks to Angela for the meditation that did my sermon for me. And third, to Pastor Ricky for his vocal rendering of the gospel reading into the Koine Greek for us. What you heard was the original language this gospel was written in. And finally, I want to thank Jerry for the musical frames of our gospel picture today, and Reverend Gina for allowing me to stand by this pulpit today. I'm not standing in it because that would put me in the nosebleed section. I call this the pulpit of the holy knothole. Because to stand in it or by it, you have to get pulled backwards through some pretty life-changing knotholes.
That's right.
Amen.